So does Avengers Endgame live up to the hype? Well, I'm going to be doing a non-spoiler review in this one, but I'm also going to be doing a spoiler review because so much. Hey everyone, I'm Jim and welcome back to My Movie Obsession, a place for film obsessives and geeky movie fans, and here we are to talk about the latest entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame really did feel like a culmination of the last 11 years of the Marvel movies. Somehow they managed to take everything that works about Marvel and put it in one movie. And they really did. There's comedy, there's humour, there's darkness, there's caper. You know, I did not expect this movie to be such a blast, such a fun blast. And it mixes that with darkness and seriousness and the end of an era. And it all comes together and it's impressive, you know. And I really do feel like, looking back at the Marvel movies, there's a few missteps here and there, but it's probably the most consistent string of movies out there as a franchise of recent years. You know, how they managed to just mix all these genres together and not make them feel out of place. Avengers Endgame is what the Marvel Cinematic Universe is all about in one movie. I recently did a video about my doubts about Marvel, where I talked about how I'm not really a fan of Brie Larson being the one who's going to be taking on this Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm now willing to let them see where it goes because Avengers Endgame didn't betray me in that regard. What I wanted was these characters to be honoured, these characters to be used in their fullest capacity and not just thrown aside for some new faces, and they really did. This is really the story of the core Avengers. Performances in this film are incredible. Robert Downey Jr., this is his best performance in all of Avengers, guys. This is it. This is Robert Downey Jr. This is him at his best on screen. He just brings through emotion, complexity, regret. You know, his friendship with Captain America, Chris Evans, is incredible on screen. You believe it so much. You feel Robert Downey's performances in this. And who'd have thought that? If you travel back to Iron Man, who'd have thought that this guy... Well, Robert Downey Jr., amazing actor, of course. But who'd have thought that we'd love Tony Stark so much on a deep emotional level and really care about him? And gets to the point where in this film you're just invested in everything he does. You root for the guy, you see his flaws, you see his positives. You just see such a well-rounded character with at the end of his journey and which way is he going to go and how things are going to pan out, and you really care. Same for Chris Evans' Captain America. This film really does treat him, this is the culmination of his journey. Which way is he going to go? You know, how are things going to pan out for him? And Chris Evans again, you know, just one of the most likeable performances ever as Captain America in all the movies. I don't know if this is his best performance as Captain America. I actually love him most probably in Civil War. I think that might be his best performance, or Winter Soldier. But in this, Chris Evans, you know, Captain America is still the glue that holds the Avengers together, still that light in the darkness for the Avengers, despite everything he's going through. I mean, you can really see the pain behind the eyes of Captain America, but he has to hold on to his core beliefs because he knows that's the only thing worth fighting for, because if he doesn't hold on, the rest of the Avengers aren't going to hold on, because he is the glue of the Avengers. Scarlett Johansson is wonderful in the film. Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye was a big part of the film, which I wasn't expecting, so I really enjoyed that part of it. Hawkeye is a big character in this movie, and that was really good to see, because I'm a fan of Hawkeye, but I'm more of a fan of him after watching Endgame. Do I like Captain Marvel in this movie? It's well documented. I don't like Captain Marvel the movie. I don't. But I'm willing to give Brie Larson a chance. I say it again. I am willing to give Brie Larson a chance based on this movie. I really didn't mind Captain Marvel in this movie, guys. I think she's used as a spectacle. I think she's used in a good way. I don't like all of her dialogue. But one thing people are forgetting, and people need to remember this, with all these people who are going crazy at Captain Marvel and how Brie Larson's acting like a bit of a bitch, bit of a stuck-up bitch in the media. The weird thing is, Marvel created this character, and you can look this up. Carol Danvers, her character is supposed to be a bitch. She's supposed to be a stuck-up bitch. That is the character. I did not believe this till someone came to me and went, you do know that's what she's supposed to be like? I was like, well, how can that be? How can we root for her? And you can look back at the comics, Carol Danvers is supposed to be a bitch. So if she's trying to be Carol Danvers, Brie Larson's doing a pretty darn good job. This movie had me smiling, this movie had me sad, this movie had me, like, just every single emotion. You get put through the ringer in this movie, and you don't know what to expect at any time. Every single moment in this film, every few moments, it would change, and it would go another direction, it would go another direction, and it would get more emotional, and then it would be less emotional, more comedic, but you're still on the journey. It's a real roller coaster ride of a movie, and Marvel are just the kings of structuring stories with so many characters. So many characters are here and it doesn't feel cobbled together. Every character for me gets all the screen time they need. It's just amazing. It blows your mind how Marvel can pull this off. And I'm feeling a bit bad, Marvel, because I did have a go at you for a little while because of Captain Marvel. Just get Brie Larson under control and I'll be back fully on board. Just take a chill pill. The action scenes are of course wonderful. You're really invested. You really root for the Avengers in this because this is the last chance to repair the damage. You know, Thanos is just as menacing as ever, but I really do feel like Thanos is like the hunted in this movie. Despite the Avengers being at the lowest point, Thanos is time's running out for Thanos in this movie, and he's getting a bit more desperate, whereas in the Infinity War he's a bit more cocky. He believed he couldn't fail, whereas now the Avengers are coming back and they're coming for you, mate. They're coming for you, Thanos. I really think this is a Star Wars of any young people watching this, their generation. I really do, because it has those images that will remain in a young mind. And I'd love to be growing up watching these movies, and that's a great thing to say, considering in today's day and age, there's not many movies I look at where I think I'd love to be growing up watching these. I'm always looking back nostalgically at the Star Wars trilogy, at lots of those movies, but this, I'd love to be watching it as a kid. I'd be loving it, you know. This really does feel like Star Wars of the new generation. So thanks for watching, everyone. That's my non-spoiler thoughts on Avengers Endgame. I'm going to be doing a spoiler review. So let me know what you think in the comments down below, what you think initially. Don't have any spoilers down there because we're going to have a spoiler video where I'm just going to talk about everything because my mind is just blown right now. So we're going to talk about spoilers in the next video, but this is just my non-spoiler review. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you in the next video.